What's up, everybody? Brad here, and it's time for a review of Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 2. And honestly, I think this has been a pretty good season. I've enjoyed the story unfolding week by week. It's been pretty interesting to find out about all these different things. Like we found out that the Seven are not as unified as we had thought. Several of them apparently are very suspicious of each other. They are not this unified force like we had assumed they were. And yeah, it's interesting stuff. But anyway, as far as like features around the map, the big feature this season was the tactical sprint, which I actually really like. I like that you don't need the pepper now to run, and I think that it having a cooldown period where to get the full sprint, you get like 5 full seconds of sprinting. If you deplete your meter, then it's gonna take it a few seconds to build back up, but you can run then for whatever your meter is filled. So that's cool. No builds mode is permanent now. That's cool as far as like as an alternate version to play. I'm still gonna go with the the builds mode because I've worked hard to try to get to try to be better at building, because this is like the game's core mechanic that it sets it apart from other games. So I want to play with building. It was nice to not have it for a little while, at least for story purposes, but it got people to come back to the game. People were very excited to play the game without building, and sometimes I drop in for a no builds mode. At least I did when they had that specific mission set from the origin that you had to do in no builds mode. But anyway, like, I hope they'll do more stuff like that. Yeah, like encourage people to jump between the modes. Give people something, like that. But I think that the compensation for not having for the lack of building in the game, giving you the overshield in no builds mode, I think that's a decent trade out. You get 50 extra health to protect yourself with the overshield, and it recharges on its own, just like the sprint meter does. So that's cool. Skins wise, which skins did I like? It's kind of hard to pick a favorite skin, really. I think these are all really strong skins. But I guess we can. I don't want to pick a. Not really wanting to pick a favorite one, but I guess we'll talk about each one of them. The Origin, I really like his story. He used to be the Cube King, and he was not. I guess he didn't like the direction the last reality was in, or something like that. Or he was captured by the Imagined Order. I'm guessing that because of his power as the Cube King, he saw the dangers of the cube power, and therefore, I guess, defected from the last reality to the Seven in an attempt to protect reality and the 0 point. So it's really cool that he has those powers. He seems very intelligent, and I'm curious as to what, like, all these characters' names mean something. Like, the Visitor seems to be from a distant world. I guess he travels and studies worlds and realities. The Scientist is obviously a scientist. The Paradigm, like, the thing about her is she's very mysterious, and it's just they have a lot of issues with her, and I'm not sure, like, they don't trust her. But anyway, the interesting thing about the Paradigm is, apparently from the skin leaks, is that we may be getting a new Paradigm skin, which would be really good. I want them to do that. I don't like that these important storyline skins, some of them are, contained to battle passes. So if you jumped into Fortnite this season, you missed out on the Foundation, who is a very important member. He's he's the leader of the Seven. So I hate for people who missed him. At least you did get 2 members of the Seven here. Going back to the stuff. The names don't matter. But anyway, Yeah, I like Origin. I'm surprised we didn't get like a Cube King version of him as a skin. I think that would have been cool as like a bonus style instead of just the prisoner outfit. Which getting back to the story again, we found out through the story that the Paradigm and the Origin were both trapped together and imprisoned by the IO, but Paradigm got out, and apparently Origin was not able to get out, which he suspects, like, is as hard as it is to escape from IO's prison. He believes that she had inside help to get out. But anyway, the story's interesting. It's not just, good guys versus bad guys, and that's just the end of it. No, the seven are the de facto good guys in this situation, and they are fighting with each other. There is some disagreement amongst the ranks, so very interesting to see where the story goes with the seven. Suki 2.0. I've liked the Suki skin, the original one. But I've never really felt like I wanted to buy it. I don't know. I just should never really bring myself to buy it. Mostly just because whenever it would show up in the item shop, I probably wouldn't have it. Just like a few V-Bucks. I'm like, okay, I need to hold off in case something really, really cool shows up. Plus, this is just a kind of a common skin. It shows up all the time. So I just never bought it. But it's nice to have a version of her. This one's more detailed and got a lot more going on for her. She's got the big sword, the Omni Sword or Omni Blade, whatever they call it. It's got all these customizable options, including the sound. And she does have a bonus style that looks a lot like the original Suki skin. There's some differences there, but it's nice that, that's included. So if you really didn't want to have to buy the old Suki skin, you kind of don't have to. And they're not totally the same, but, whatever. She's not really important to the story, though. She's just not. It's just an upgraded Suki skin. That's why I wish these skins meant something. I wish we knew, who was she aligned with? Instead of it just being a cool skin to have. Kiara KO. I think she's cool. I've been trying to figure out, though, she's got the IO symbol on her belt. You can see it there. But they don't really specifically reference her being part of the IO, and she's not on the map from where I've seen. She might be, but I haven't come across her yet. But again, she's not really important. And that's what I don't like. The origin is important to the story. But these other two aren't. And I prefer the version of Kiara that is on the loading screen. Her loading screen. Yeah, I like that look for her better than this one here. But again, it's a great skin. Her little song is pretty good too. What was her name? The Imagined. Okay. So we figured out now that the sisters are the Imagined and the Order. Now that's can't be coincidental, can it? That one of the last two members of the seven that we have found out about are both named after the faction we're fighting. So we are battling the Imagined Order, but two of our allies are named the Imagined and the Order. And they're siblings. And so we know from one of the story quests that John Jones, Agent Jones, was looking for files on them, and they've all been deleted, which is something that the IO never does. They keep track of everything. They had files on the Origin, they had files on the Foundation, they had files on even Peely. But all of the files on those two characters, the sisters, is gone. But Jonesy seems to have maybe found something about Geno, but that's where we left off. I'm guessing we will soon encounter Geno, but that's another story. Prowler here looks pretty cool. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting that his mask is sort of is similar sort of style to Deadpool, except it's purple. Considering that Deadpool was introduced in Chapter 2, Season 2, this is Chapter 3, Season 2. I think he looks cool. It's just, I don't, he outside of Into the Spider-Verse, I've really not seen much of this character. So, again, looks good. I like his emote a lot. Again, though, the same problem I had with Suki and Kiara, not really relevant to the story. He appeared next to Sloane in the opening cinematic trailer for the season, but that's about it. I just wish it was something else. Gunner, big brute guy. I think a lot of people don't really like him. I think he looks cool and tough. He's like more like a modern Brutus skin, if you remember him from 2 years ago. Uh, but I mean, I like the IO's armor, and I like that they have like the symbols and everything on them. Uh, and at least again, he's a boss on the island. He works for the IO. I mean, he was part of the end of chapter 2, and that cinematic where we see Sloane and Gunner torturing Jones before the Foundation busts in and saves him. And then we see at the beginning of this season, the Foundation marches on to battle bare-fisted, and Gunner shows up with his own special tech gloves, and Foundation tries to punch him, but Gunner catches it. So those two were just gonna just duke it out right there. But at least he's a decent part of the story, even as just an island boss and one of the heads in the IO. Maybe not like a super top up, up there guy, but he's a boss, so he's tough. They gotta have him around. And then you got Arisa, I think is her name, the anime girl skin. She's probably one of the better anime skins in the game, and like she looks really good. I don't like this particular color for her though, the green and the yellow. I like her the default like purple style. It looks really good. I don't hate this style, but I don't hate the blonde with the green. That's fine. It's just I think the purple looks better in my opinion. But she got some really cool stuff, like her glider is a bunch of swords rotating fast to levitate her. Her emote is really cool, where like she kind of dances with the swords a little bit. It's really elegant. But I really like that skin. Again, like I said, she shows up in the cinematic trailer jumping out of a battle bus, if I remember correctly, but she's not really important to the story. And I don't really know much about like Doctor Strange either. Like he brings these characters. I guess that's the lore, is that he shows up on the Fortnite battlefield to back up Jonesy and the rest of the 7 by bringing in the Origin. And I guess he brought. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense for him to bring Gunner and the other IO person. But like Iron Man and Black Widow showed up in that first cinematic trailer, and we haven't seen hide or hair of them. They're not in the game. They're not there. It's just more like hey, it's Marvel. Here's a few more Marvel characters. But anyway, like I said though, I really like this battle pass. It's not a bad one at all. Like I think the last season, the battle pass characters kind of just like, at least you could say like in Kiara's case, she is aligned with the IO, and you can use the cinematic trailer to say that Prowler is aligned with the IO, and Doctor Strange aligned with the 7. The others, maybe not so much. I mean, Gunner quite literally is an officer of the IO, so there's no real questioning there who he's aligned with. But yeah, like, I think this was a very strong battle pass. A lot of story element characters here. The Origin, the Imagined, Gunner. I mean, he's not super important, the story Gunner is, but I mean, he's the IO's muscle. He's appeared in cutscenes, but whatever. But yeah, I think this was a good season. The tanks, the battle buses, all that stuff was really good. A gigantic pool of weapons to choose from. That brief Star Wars collab we got with the lightsabers and the Star Wars laser guns were brought back. There were stormtrooper posts at certain places in the map, and that's all supposedly leading to next season, where Darth Vader is supposed to be a boss on the map. So I'm actually excited about that. I don't know what date it's supposed to drop, but Obi-Wan Kenobi's already been confirmed. The Star Wars update teased him with a close-up camera shot of him holding the lightsaber, but we're going to get him in the item shop any day now, and that's going to lead into Season 3, where Vader shows up. I guess I guess, in alignment with the IO. I figure what's going to happen story-wise is that this collider that is now on the map, it's a really cool place, too. They've moved Sloan and the Beastmaster Hunter, I think is his name, to protect the collider. So you've got 2 bosses at that location. Gunner's still at Command Cavern. But, I think what's going to happen is that the collider will either destroy the whole island, or probably not destroy it, but it will have an effect that brings like in a lot of like the collapse stuff. I think it's going to bring Darth Vader in or whatever, because we've heard they love doomsday devices. Well, what are we going to Darth Vader has the Death Star. What are we talking about? But I figure that this event is going to show the 7 try to destroy the IO once and for all, because this whole season they've been pushing them back, and now there's very little room on the island left. There's very little IO territory left. So I don't think this war is going to end in this chapter. I think it's going to continue. But I think that the season finale event is going to swing momentum back in the IO's favor. And I think that's going to be with Darth Vader showing up, and next season is going to be the 7 either having their big fallout and then trying to get back together in some way. Maybe somebody will leave that group permanently, and then we'll have new members of the 7. You know, we'll have a new 7 form from that or something, consisting of old members and new members. Maybe people from the Imagined Order defecting. Maybe a return from people from the last reality. Maybe more original villains outside of the last reality, the IO and the 7. So who knows? But I think it's very exciting stuff. I'm just curious to see, you know, what the map's going to look like next season. And, you know, is the Darth Vader thing actually going to, is that real? It seems like it is. But what will it bring? Are we going to get all the Star Wars weapons back for the entire next season? There was rumor that the Spider-Man swinging item was being worked on to come back, but that never happened. The Daily Bugle has sat on this island for 2 straight seasons and is still there. There's lots of Spider-Man webbing still around, but no Spider-Man. Everybody thought we were going to get a Miles Morales skin, but that didn't happen. So, I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for the next season. We've got less than 2 weeks away from the time I'm recording this, and I kind of wish the season would hurry up and end so we can see exactly which of these crazy collabs are going to actually happen. Because remember, Indiana Jones is supposed to be in the next season. Darth Vader is supposed to be in the next season, as well as being and when I say next season, I mean like in the Battle Pass. And Darth Vader is supposed to be a boss on the map. That will be really cool, but I want to know just how far this is going to go. Is it going to be similar to the Marvel crossover season with Galactus, where it was an entire Battle Pass? Probably not. Probably not, but there's a good chance, though, that there could be some significant Star Wars stuff on the island next season. And as somebody who's never really been super into Star Wars, but still kind of thinks it's a cool, you know, universe to read about and watch stuff for, I'm excited. And this could be my way of learning a little bit more about it. Anyway, what do you guys think? Who was your favorite skin? What was your favorite moment from this season? And what do you think about Darth Vader supposedly coming as a boss? Indiana Jones, maybe even Peter Griffin. Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe. Check out all my other videos. And next time, maybe we'll see. But until then, we'll see you later.